you are working hard and you're doing everything that you have to do and your bank account still looks the same? Yeah, so you work hard, you get your 3% pay raise every year, but then you get that feeling every time that you go to the grocery store that there's not enough, or you check your bank account at the end of the year and still no money in there. And you feel like you are working hard, but you are not going anywhere. So yeah, let's talk about the 9 to 5 illusion, working from 9 to 5, and how inflation is taking away the wealth that we should be creating, and how it pushes our retirement even further and further away. So let's talk about the situation that we're in and what are the things that are messing up our situation, and let's learn from them and then see if we can find a solution and how to fix this situation, so that way we don't go year after year, year after year, feeling like we are running in a treadmill that we just run and run, but we don't go anywhere. So yeah, let's talk about this. My name is Luis Rivera, and thank you for being here again. Yep, so let's start with inflation and pay raise. And this is a topic that is very interesting, because it depends on how you look at it. You may have a different opinion than the person next to you. And it's so interesting because we work our 40 hours a week, and we expect every year to get a pay raise. And sometimes we have to fight for them, and sometimes it's just automatic. So let's say that we fight for the pay raise, and then we finally get it, and we feel happy about it. We know that our check is gonna grow, it's gonna get bigger, and so we get excited. But then there's the reality, and that the reality is that even though we're making more money, the money is not enough to pay for everything that we were paying the year before. And we're supposed to pay for everything that we were paying the year before, and then have some left, because if we got a pay raise, we should have some extra money, right? But the reality is that we don't. There's never any money in the savings account, because somehow the money goes away. And what we don't consider sometimes is inflation. And what happens is that most of the time, inflation grows bigger than the pay raise you get. Let's say that you get a pay raise of 3% a year, but then that year inflation grew at 5%. That means that you are 2% in the negative. That means that your paycheck, instead of being bigger, it actually got a little bit smaller. And you may think, like, what do you mean it got smaller? I see that the numbers got bigger. Yeah, the numbers got bigger, but how much stuff you can buy with those numbers got smaller, because things got more expensive due to inflation. Therefore, now your paycheck is not enough to buy everything that you were able to buy the prior year, right? That's how inflation destroys the pay raise that we get. And so we are in this fight over and over and over again every year, fighting for getting more money, in our paychecks, but at the same time feeling like we are not getting enough, and that the reality is that we are not going anywhere. We think that, oh, because I've been working for this company for 10 years, now I'm making a ton of money, and they've been appreciating my work, and I make a lot more than what I was making 10 years ago. Sometimes the reality is no. It appears that you're making more money because the numbers are bigger, but in reality, sometimes staying in a place for 10 years, if anything, you're making less than other people that have been jumping around jobs. Because there's a trick, right, that you can get 3% pay raise if you stay at your same job, but sometimes if you go from one company to another, you may get a higher raise. Not that they're going to give you a raise, but like at the rate where they are going to hire you might be a lot higher than the pay rate that you currently have. And so like that is one way how you can make a little bit more money than staying in a company. And I'm not saying that that's what you have to do always, but sometimes that happens. But otherwise, yeah, you're gonna keep getting those 3% raises every year, and they may feel like instead of going up, you're just going down, and that's what's happening. As a matter of fact, I was talking to one of my guys the other day, and we were talking about this topic and how we feel. He was telling me, I feel like I'm making more money, but for the first time, I've been getting collectors calling me to tell me what's going on, that I'm behind on my payments, and I've never been behind on my payments, and I haven't gotten any more debts, and I'm not buying more stuff than before, and my life hasn't changed. How come now I cannot pay certain things, or I'm falling behind on some payments? And yeah, that's the reality of a lot of us. And the problem is inflation. And but what can we do about that? I mean, that's inflation. That's something that happens to the entire economy. It's something that either happens or it's created by the people that are running the country, running the economy. So there's nothing we can do about that. We just have to adapt and adjust to it. So all these are bad situations, but the thing is that we have to learn them. We have to learn, and then we have to learn how they work. So that way we can start thinking about a solution. We cannot think about a solution of a problem that we don't know anything about. So that's the first thing. I would say first thing, learn. Let's start looking at our finances. Let's start finding out like where our money is going. How come I'm making a lot more money than 6 years ago, and how come now I feel like I'm in an even worse situation than I was 6 years ago? Clearly something is going wrong there. So that's what we have to look for. What's going wrong? And then once we have everything on paper, all the situations that we think that are affecting our finances, then we can start looking for solutions. So you are in the right path. You're already looking at these videos and trying to learn about how this situation works, and every person's situation is unique, so you have to look at your personal situation and focus on that more than what anybody else can talk about, more than what we are talking about over here on these videos, or more than what your neighbor or your friend is going to talk about. You have to focus on your specific situation and then see what's happening to your specific situation. And yeah, let's just work on this. This is the perfect time to start working on our finances, to start finding out what we can do about it, how we can better our situation, and start working for the future. So that way we can get to a better place. I talk a lot about retirement, and practicing retirement means practicing all this stuff. So you're in the right place. Let's go and check what's going on with your situation, and keep watching the videos. And I talk a lot about, like things that we can do to better our situation, a lot about the problems that are affecting our situation, and yeah, it's just good stuff. So you're in a good place, and you are already doing a lot. You're already having interest in changing your situation, and you are not alone. I feel like most of us are in this situation right now where finances is a big problem in our lives, and what a good way to try to better our situation than looking at others and understanding that others are going through the same situation, and that we all are trying to better our situation together by learning one from another, and then applying those learnings into our specific situation. So yeah, let's do this. And what can I say? You're already doing good. So go out there and better your life.